Baby, stop it. Good evening, folks. Can you hear me okay? Let me pop the chat out so I can chat to you. Right. We're going to look at some of the German stuff. Turn this up. Right. Let's have a look at some of this German stuff. So, give me a second. Let's have a look. Let's get on here. Right. I'm going to start with the photos of the actual crafts. Zoom this in a little bit. Let's go straight into this. Let's balls deep this. Can't see that one there, can you? That's weird. You can't see the pop out. So I'll have to zoom it in. So these are the crafts, right? These are the names of the. I'll get the names of them for you in a minute. It might be easier if I go to. Look at Kenneth Arnold there and his drawing of what he saw in 1947. Look at that bad boy. Flying the whole IX in late 1944. That was in 1944. You know what I mean? No wonder like the US was all over what the Germans were doing. The Germans were way ahead. Way ahead. But I need to find you. There's something I really want to show you all. And it's the let me get the chat up there. It is the Aryan race where they went into the Black Forest. So I'm going to try and find that for you in a minute. Just give me a second. It'll be called the Vril Society, won't it? It's a great website, this, by the way. It's one that I use to dig through a lot of stuff. So, the Vril Society, or the Luminous Lodge, combined the political ideals of the Order of the Illuminati with Hindu mysticism, theosophy, and Kabbalah. It was the first German nationalist group to use the symbol of the swastika as an emblem linking Eastern and Western occultism. Hi folks, sorry, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just trying to get straight into this for people. The Vril Society presented the idea of a subterranean, matriarchal, socialist utopia ruled by superior beings who had mastered the mysterious energy called the Vril Force. This secret society was founded literally on Bulwer Lytton's novel The Coming Race, 1871. The book describes a race of men physically far in advance of our own. They have acquired powers over themselves and over things that made them almost godlike. For the moment they are in hiding, they are said to be in caves in the centre of the earth. Soon they will emerge to reign over. Now, I'm trying to get to the Black Forest part, if I can find it. Because it goes on about the Aryan race, the superior beings, and why they wanted to get certain blood groups out of the way and carry on forward with a certain blood group on the planet. So that's what I'm trying to get to. You all know about Aleister Crowley, and you all know about, I'm guessing you all know who Aleister Crowley is. and about Lam, the demon. Where is it? Let's see if it's in the yellow book. At first sight, the Vril Society should not be brought into the scope of our subject, which is more concerned with politics, but is one of the most interesting secret societies which has ever existed. This is why it is absolutely necessary for us to mention it. There is not a single book in German on the Vril Society, and every other document which would have given a cross-reference to the name have been well and truly obliterated by the Allies. But, as you will see, not everything about it disappeared, and it is a special pleasure for me to unveil this matter to you here. In effect, you are going to verify which of the non-German power circles keeps secret the truth about the Germans. I think rhesus negative type is non-human. It's very possible, but they call it the alien blood type, don't they? Look at these pictures here, guys. Karl Hofzer. I'm going to absolutely murder some of these names, but I don't care. It's only Germans anyway. Nazis. Founded before 1919 a second order, the Brothers of the Light, which later took the name of the Vril Society, were united also the Masters of the Black Stone, DHVSS, a new founding of the Templars from the Order of Germain in 1917, the Black Knights of the Black Sun, the elite of the Thule Society and the SS. If we compare the Vril Society to the Fuel Society, the difference can be summarised thus. The Thule Society occupied itself with material and political matters. The Vril Society was concerned above all with the beyond. However, they had some points in common. I'm rhesus negative, no kidding. I'm not kidding. It could well be. Andrew Self for ModMap. Andrew Self. Andrew, what are be a mod? Andrew is now a mod. However, they had some points in common. Both studied Atlantis, Thule, the Island of Fortune of Gilgamesh. This is the interesting thing with Gilgamesh, because I think something big is going to come out with that soon. The original relationship between the Germans and the Mesopotamians, I fucking hate words sometimes, Mesopotamians, as well as the ancient sanctuaries like Stonehenge with its towering stone. In December 1919, a forest house was rented in Malmö near where some... Oh, this is it. I think this is it. Yes, this is it. Listen to this. In December 1919, a forest house was rented in Malmö near nowhere near what that is, where some people from the Thule, DH and Vril Society met. Among them were mediums Maria Orsis and Sigrun. This is important. Maria had received some information in a secret script of the Templars, a language completely unknown to her, with technical data on constructing a flying machine. So they got their hands on some information where they could create this flying saucer, and it also had some interesting things which I'm going to read now. These telepathic messages were transmitted according to the written records of the Vril Society from the solar system of Aldebaran in the constellation of Taurus. We wish to present you a summary of the messages which were received for some years by the Vril Society telepaths, which were the basis of the further actions taken by that society. The Aldebaran, which is the solar system of Aldebaran, is 68 light years from Earth, and 2 inhabited planets which constitute the realm of Cimarron orbit around their sun. The inhabitants of the solar system are subdivided into masters, white godlike people, the Aryans, and other different races. These later developed because of climatic changes on the individual planets and were the result of degeneration of godlike people. These mutants came to have a spiritual development inferior to the godlike people. The more the races mixed together, the more their spiritual development degraded. So basically, when they was having fornication with different races on their planet, it destroyed the these godlike people. It made them less powerful and stuff like that. And this is the way I say to you, there's potentially a connection. It's just a coincidence how these are called the Aryans, white godlike people. They have blonde hair, blue eyes. And then Hitler had this ideology, the Aryan race, the master race, and he wanted to get rid of a certain group of people. So, thus, the inferior races, totally dependent on the masters, came to be evacuated in spaceships and taken to other habitable planets, in spite of the differences. There was respect between these two races. They did not encroach upon each other's living space, in contrast to Earth. The race of the masters, the white godlike people, had started to colonize other planets similar to Earth 500 million years ago, following the expansion of the Aldebaran sun and the growing heat resulting from it, which made the planets uninhabitable. It was said that they colonized the planet Malona, also called Maldek, Marduk and Phaeton by the Russians, in our solar system, which existed at the time between Mars and Jupiter, where the asteroids are found today. After that, Mars, of which the Great Pyramid sighted and well-known Martian force photographed in 1976 by the Viking probe, bear witness to the high level of development of its inhabitants. From there, in that era, it was assumed that godlike people of the Sumerian Aldebaran came to Earth for the first time. Just have a sip of my juice there, chaps. Old traces of a petrified shoe, about 500 million years old, with a trilobite. Why do they have to put these really weird words in? Trilobite petrified together with the sole of the shoe. Bear witness to it. That primitive fish lived on Earth then and disappeared 400 million years ago. The Vril Society members thought that the Aldebaranians landed later on when the Earth became slowly habitable. Have I missed any comments here? Let me go through the comments. I'm speechless, thanks so much. Purebred. Yeah, how many of us are Aryans? None of us. Where was I? It was 3 years before the project got underway. In the first phase of an other technology or another science, a member of the Thule and Vril societies gave a lecture at the Faculty of Science in Munich. Everywhere, two principles determined events, light and darkness, good and bad, creation and destruction, like the positive and negative in electricity. It is always either or. These two principles, designated concretely as creative and destructive principles, also determine our technological methods. The destructive principles is the work of Satan. The creative principles is the work of God. All technology based on the principle of explosion or of a combustion may be called satanic technology. The coming new age will be the age of a new technology, positive and divine. Implosion technology. At the same time, the scientist Victor Schauber was working on a similar project. He was using the teachings of Johannes Kepler, who was in possession of the secret doctrine of the Pythagoreans, held and kept secret by the Templars. This concerned knowledge of implosion, in this case meaning the utilization of the potential of inner worlds in the outer worlds. I'm telling you guys, something serious went on in Germany before World War II. Let's go down a bit here. The first saucer-shaped craft was built in the summer of 1922. Its drive based on implosion technology, the machine for flight to the beyond. It consisted of a disc of 8 meters diameter, surmounted by a parallel disc of 6.5 diameter, with another disc of 6 meter diameter underneath. These three discs had a hole of 1.8 meters through their centers, where the 2.40 meter high propulsion unit was mounted at the base. The central body terminated in the form of a cone. In this cone was a kind of pendulum for stabilization of the device. Kind of as a bit of thingy about Bobbler's eye, like, you know. The lower and upper discs in opposite directions to create a rotating electromagnetic field. Let's skip down a little bit here for you. In June 1934, Victor Struber was invited by Hitler and the highest representatives of the Vril and Fuel Societies and worked from then on with them. The first German UFOs were developed in June 1934. It's funny that, ain't it, how it's developed 1 year after the 1933 Magenta Italy crash. Could that have been Germans testing their technology under the direction of W.O. Schumann? The first experimental circular aircraft, RFZ-1, was developed at the Arado aircraft factory in Brandenburg. The Arado 196 tail unit, which was supposed to guide the device, proved to be completely ineffective. With great difficulty, the pilot, low the waist, succeeded in bringing it back to the ground, escaping from it and getting away in time, because the device started to spin like a top before it overturned and completely broke into pieces. That was the end of the RFZ-1, but the beginning of the Vril flying machines. The RFZ-2 was finished at the end of 1934 and had a Vril drive and a magnetic impulsion flying system. Its diameter was 5 meters and had the following characteristics. The contours of the device became blurred as it gained speed, and it lit up with different colors, as a well-known characteristic of UFOs. So they have the glow to them. I see orange though. That isn't like what I saw. Yeah, it depends what. Orange is one of the most favourite ones from the 90s. You have a blue colour, you have a white colour, you have a yellow colour, you even have a red colour. Why? I don't know. If they're using the same propulsion system. So we've got a few names from here. So this is like the bell, look at that. You can't see that, can you? Let me zoom it out a bit. Right, so this one here, this is the one that everybody always sees, right? Because this is the one that carries the other little UFOs in. Now do you remember that one? Was it the Russians that took was it the Russian, where is it? Russia captures UFO. What's that? What's that footage called where you got the pilots taking an image and it's like a big massive UFO in the middle over the ocean? Someone remind me of the footage. Was it Russian? I'm sure it was Russian. Was it Russian pilots? Called UFO in the sky. Come on folks, help me out here, I can't remember. Right, well, this one here.
Now, here it is once again.
See this one here?
You'll notice the cylinder seems to be traveling at about the same speed as the MiGs until about here. And then
that's this. The cigar-shaped craft, the huge cigar-shaped craft, that's this one here. Bob Lazar said if you looked at the craft while it was flying from above, it looked like a donut. He also said it wobbled. It was like unstable in the sky. Which winds me up, because Logan Paul has that Chuck Clark footage, and he said it wobbles in the sky. I'd just like to speak to like Bob Lazar and see if he knew anything about the UFO and Bob Lazar. He'd know that he's already said it wobbles. So there you go. Logan Paul released the fucking footage. You stole it anyway. Some insane footages and builds here. This is the Hannibal 1. If you can read German, you can go into all that. You've got this one, has the craft in the middle, has little things either side here. It's like a mothership to carry all the stuff. Look at this one. It's the Vril 7. Don't know what name that one is. Can't see the name. It's very hard to read on the screen at the minute then. I can't find the Black Forest thing though. The Black Forest thing was interesting. I wanted to read that to you. But let's go into a bit more here. Right, I've just had an update. So you're going to hear this live. It's from Simon Holland. So I sent him an email because my followers asked that you want to know about Beatrice Villarroel, right? Drop a yes in the comments if that's what you want me to ask about. So he's just replied. I put, "Hi Simon, I sent the Zoom meeting link in a private email for Thursday, in a previous email. Just speaking about this in a live chat, telling my followers I was speaking to you Thursday, and my followers asked me to discuss the Beatrice Villarroel papers that have been released this week and asked me to ask you when I speak to you to basically simplify it for them as it is frying their brains. We can also touch on Rendlesham, Free Eye Atlas, Tic Tac Lockheed and whatever you want really, but the cry out for help in my live at the moment ago, which was when I was with Mark Christopher Lee a moment ago on TikTok, was for the papers to be explained. Just thought I'd give you a heads up in case you have not took the time to read them. Kind regards." And he replied, "Good plan. Beatrice is a wonderful and the Vasco project is fascinating." So we're going to get an explanation from Simon Holland on Thursday. Your man's got your back. And you've just heard that first because it's literally just come through right now. So, where are we? The People's Channel. What I saw, the sausage shape and the small scout. Whoop whoop. Yes, whoop whoop. Just give me a minute, folks. I'm trying to find. Our report, The Secret Evidence That We Are Not Alone, shows 117 pages of leaked top secret UFO documents, most of them never before seen by the public. Some 26 pages were allegedly prepared for the 1954 Special Operations Manual, SOM 101. The report provides an initial discussion as to why this briefing manual and the other documents are almost certainly authentic. The majestic documents tell a mind-boggling story of deception. So let's click on that one. Not playing it. The Robertson panel. Who knows about the Robertson panel? Sorry, heck yes. I saw this 6 bright star. It literally looked like a crystal in the sky. I believe he's, by the way, when he's saying he's seen things. 100%. It's really hard to capture it, I know. And unless you've not got anything compelling, it's not going to do anything. It's just another story that gets it. I want to play a bit of this because I'm chatting to... Where is it? I'm chatting to this guy on the 16th of August.
Environment which energizes the gas molecules, which then produces photons, which is atomic light. It's a very pure kind of light, you know. The only difference is that in nature there is nothing that is stable or constant. It's in a constant state of flux. So what you'll get, like in lightning, you'll get a big lightning flash, then lots of little lightning flashes. But ball lightning, or what they call ball lightning, you get a constant And the only way you can be constant is if the power source is artificial, because constant doesn't exist in nature, not in that respect anyway. So what's happening is that with the spheres themselves, they have a high energy propulsion system. It emits a high energy field around it, which energizes the gas molecules, which then produces light. So what you have is a silver ball, but the actual air around it is glowing. And then from a distance, all you see is a big glowing object, big glowing ball.
A lot of these are reported to have like a plasma sheath around them, some type of like a plasma appearance.
It looks like plasma, yeah. It does look like plasma. But it is effectively just ionized. It's just highly energized gas molecules.
Now, I'm sure the audience is dying to see what these things could look like, what these things are, right?
So if you don't know who Patrick Jackson is, he's talking about the Sphere Network. He talks about them 3 different ones as like, and he's going to explain them now, actually, so I'll let it explain. But we're going to get the chance to speak to him anyway on the 16th of August.
Let's get into the slides.
I'm just introducing you to him.
Let's start to show people what these things look like, and probably how often would they get seen.
What happened to Skyfire News, by the way? I've not seen anything from this channel for ages.
Okay, let's run through it. Let's see. So there's the intro.
There's your book. Where can we find it?
It's on Amazon.
There it is.
And I actually recommend getting the ebook because it's free to read with a membership. The black and white one is about £9. The color one's a bit more expensive because of Amazon's printing costs and stuff. But I recommend the ebooks actually just as good.
Awesome.
And you go into the paranormal stuff and the Sphere Network in this book?
Yeah. Also how to trigger it, how it's triggered, how it operates. All this stuff is like when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of magic shows and stuff, and I used to try and figure out how they used to do the illusions. David Copperfield and all that stuff. I used to spend hours doing it. But once you see the first sort of slip of the hand and the first kind of, the thing they do, the whole trick opens up and you start seeing other stuff. And it's exactly the same with poltergeists, the same thing with the spheres. Once you actually get through the first barrier, it just opens up like a big can. You to see it, how it all interconnects.
Nice.
It's like
So,
that.
yeah.
Oh, there it is, Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
But it
And this
reminds
is your
me,
website.
dude, we're gonna plug the heck out of that website. But Gary Nolan referenced this weird visual experiment video all the time. This idea of count how many times a basketball is passed between people on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while you're watching that, a gorilla walks through the scing, and no one ever notices him because
That's right.
everyone's watching is so looking at the task, which is to count the thing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when people are told, "Did you see the gorilla?" I was one of the people who was like, "I did not see one, and I do not believe there ever was one." I had to watch it again to really be convinced. And he references a lot, like who out there can see this thing, who's noticed this thing. Is he hinting at your work?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we do have a Gary Nolan slide.
And in fact, that's why those type of buildings are the most active. There's one was called the Demon House in the US that Zach Bagman did. And
Talks about East Drive as well, the famous East Drive house in the UK.
As well, because when these things are relaying or broadcasting, they'll commit actions to move you away. And people perceive that as ghosts and spirits and or evil spirits. But in fact, what it's doing is it's just trying to get you away from the emissions.
And
Now, is that by inducing like some type of alpha wave or hypnagogic state into a person to where they hallucinate whatever they hallucinate?
No.
Or is it
It's
actually
much simpler than
projecting?
that.
Okay, what's
No.
happening there?
All it's doing is that these objects use a field-based propulsion system. All they're doing is directing their propulsion system onto objects, committing force. So if you commit that force onto a door, the door will open or bang.
Oh,
Does he ever talk about something he created called a proton light? I think that's the name of it. I don't know, but I can ask him when I speak to him. Oh, it's Kyle. Good for you to come in, Kyle. The audio should be a bit better today. It was a bit messed up yesterday, but it's alright today.
oh, they're
Or you
physically moving things.
Yeah, or you can just throw stuff around. Yeah.
And there's a lot of videos of there's a lot of videos of things just moving, doors
Yeah.
opening, rocking chairs just going back and forth.
That's
And
right.
they're just emitting force on it.
That's it. And they're using scarecrow actions to move people away from high energy emissions. That's what it is.
And
So these things, they seem to be completely aware of people, human beings, right? Their methods that they use are specifically to scare people and animals away, right? Moving
Yeah.
something without something being there. Crazy.
Yeah, it's AI based. So they all have the same actions and behaviors all around the world. So the same poltergeist activity that's occurring in 30 East Drive replicates in other buildings in, say, in America. It's all the same. It all pulls from the same library of actions.
And Patrick, roughly how many?
But this like theory that he's got, the sphere network, it's one of the best ones I've heard, to be honest with you. And it makes the most sense. And it ties in with the paranormal side of things. When you're seeing these orbs, and he's done so much research into it. He gives examples of why these orbs are appearing and stuff like that. So yeah, I am excited to be speaking to him.
How many cases with these spheres have you like analyzed? I'd imagine a bunch.
Oh, quite a lot. A lot. I mean, 30 East Drive is the main one.
Yeah, there is. In fact, let me just get something up while I'm here now. That's what she said. Let's look at just the UK ones. Ley lines in the UK. Images. So, look at Stonehenge, where Stonehenge is there. Why is the UK only England? Not the best one. I'm trying to find, there was something that I came across. There seems to be a connection with crop circles and ley lines, but the ley lines the crop circles seem to be happening down in Wiltshire and stuff like that, which is like hours and hours away from me. If it happened up north, I'd go and visit them, but because I've debunked many crop circles and stuff like that, I don't fancy driving hours and hours away to find out it's just some guy with a board and rope that's done it. I think there are two kinds of orbs. One is the light orb. Yeah. That's what he speaks about, the light orbs. And the one I saw is a fireball orb. That is a motor of a craft. I think all the orbs are scouts, potentially, yeah. The one I saw would burn a house down. Not me, Matt. Jack at Cosmic Road did an episode and was talking about the sphere network. Then he went into an account of an incident where one of the Patrick's friends used it, then saw something so disturbing. Luke is really good on crop circles. He absolutely bums crop circles. Like, I think he fell out with me for a short period of time because I think he thought I was taking the piss out of him. I wasn't. I'm just not interested in crop circles. It just bores me. Like, some people are interested, some people are not. Don't get me wrong, like, I'll take a look. But, yeah, it takes a lot for me to be excited for some flattened grass. Unless I've not created that flattened grass, I ain't interested. But, yeah, it needs to be investigated. It's just other people can do it. I'd rather investigate other things. I saw one in Taunton, England, 2019, 14th of Feb, and it's on the ley line. The one I saw was crazy. I'm not far away, Gloucestershire. Well, I'm up Greater Manchester way. And we have some decent things around here, like Todmorden, some of the famous stories in Todmorden and stuff like that. So I did want to look at the ley lines and famous monuments. Like Stonehenge is on a ley line. And they think that a lot of things happened on these things. They think that a lot of I was going to say something, but I can't. There might be an underground base or something that's going to be uncovered soon, and it goes from the south of the UK all the way to Scotland, and it can get there in minutes. Whatever underground facility and what underground transport they're using there. One of my friends is hopefully going to expose it very, very soon. He's only giving me a bit of details, that's why I can't go into much. Message retracted. What have you retracted your messages for? Project Paperclip. You all know about Project Paperclip, right? COVID-19 was a mass mind control operation pandemic used to inflict psychological terror on the world. What? Let's have a look. What do Tranderism and COVID have in common? Dr. Rainer Fulmer is here to talk about the mental terrorism inflicted on the world during the COVID pandemic. According to Dr. Fulmer's findings, COVID was all fake. It was an act of psychological terrorism acting as a pilot program for mass mind control. In effect, the purpose of all of it was to dumb down the population, making them more reliant on powerful institutions and more susceptible to extreme ideas. One of the ultimate goals is also depopulation. For some strange reason, the global elites responsible for this mind control also want humanity to consent. They want us to choose to put things in our body that are harmful and ultimately lead to death. This mind control is more effective in the Western world than in Africa. The excess mortality rates from the bioweapon injections are high in developed countries. The masses, brought into fear tactic and brainwashing, have voluntarily injected themselves with deadly poison. Most of our leaders and those in positions of power are actually psychopaths. However, these leaders couldn't have risen to power for entertainment purposes only. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is because the general public has been dumbed down due to the collapse of our educational system. We have been taught to follow orders and not think for ourselves. There are a lot of people who are highly educated but also very stupid. Cowardice fuels the stupidity of the general public. Those who have perpetuated these crimes against humanity will be held accountable at the Nuremberg 2.0. When the Nuremberg 2.0, this was in 2023. Rainer Fulmich, Stu Peters. Spelling mistakes. I'm only on for a little bit. I just jumped on because I've got work in the morning and stuff like that. And I've got a live tomorrow and a live and thingy. But I just wanted to just go into some of the German bits with you and tell you all to look at this site. It's called, let me type it in the thingy for you. Right, it's in the chat there, right? I'll pin it for you. If you don't know what that website is, you'll thank me for it later. Like, it is a treasure trove of all the conspiracies in the world you can think of, right? The thing I say to people is you've got to do your own research and come to your own conclusions on things. Like, I'll show you here. This is the homepage. So you've got the Galactic Diplomacy, Galactic Federations, you name it. It's on here. The conspiracy is on here. this will give you hours and hours and hours of reading. Let's just pick a random one. See if there's anything new come on actually. The Galactic Federations. Who's a fan of the Galactic Federations?
Galactic government, part of the wider Commonwealth of 13 galactic clusters. You can refer to us in one word: Andromedians. You may have heard of us from other sources, but allow us to establish one critical fact. During a galactic uprising that brought great destruction in 1/3 of this galaxy, certain groups of our Commonwealth joined forces with the Rebel Alliance. This alliance is led by the Draconian species, governed by 24 plus 3 council members under a high commander. This ruler goes by many names, most of which are recorded in your planet's history. Point being is that the rebel Andromedians have been acting as intermediaries between the Draconian Alliance and Earth governments, which they have come to control. Their goal is the enslavement of your planet, the extraction of its resources and the complete extermination of all life. Then the Draconian fleet of 118 war planets, including its 2 flagships, will depart for a critical nerve node of the universal organism. We cannot and will not allow this to happen. Your enslavement has been orchestrated by an artificial race that many of you consider native to your planet. It is not. During your current state, you cannot enter a direct conflict with them. This is our duty. But what you can do is protect yourselves and survive until our arrival. Operative warning is: death rises in the east, but the west has been infiltrated by eastern agents on all levels. Deal with those agents as we deal with the real threat. We have gathered an armada of 960 war planets in multiple dimensions, 340 of which are visible to you. We have been situated around and beyond the trajectory range of Saturn. Any species activity on the inside planets is considered hostile to you. We do not use channeling. We do not send messages to psychics. We only transmit through a strict medium of neutrino beams. The clear reason is that your oppressors do not have access to this technology. Beware of what you call false flag operations. Earth will be invaded by the Draconian Alliance, posing to be us. This will include atrocities in order to condition humanity against us, and to unite you under a world government. Your Illuminati New World Order is but a predecessor of an even more cruel order that was orchestrated by the Draconians' artificial race. The enemy, on-world and off-world, has rejected our terms of surrender. We will intervene in massive and overwhelming force. Our 5th and 6th dimension forces have arrived at your planet, as they cannot be traced or inhibited by the Draconian Alliance. We consider your own dimension being the first, in terms of density. Translating to your terms, you are 3rd dimension, and the enemy exists up to the 5th dimension. We have forces up to the 9th. Once we secure that all the nuclear weapons that have been placed within the Earth's crust in order to destabilize the planet have been neutralized, we will
I'm learning. I've unmuted the mic. That's interesting. So until they've neutralized all the nukes on the planet, because obviously we could try and fire one in the event of something trying to take over the planet.
invade. When your rapid eye movement during your sleep ceases to produce erratic dreams and nightmares, know that the enemy's flagship has fallen. A flagship we call Level. A flagship you call Moon. Our true arrival will be signaled by one major event, the extermination of all planetary governments, especially those who have aligned themselves with the eruption of the upcoming World War. Until then, everything else is a lie. You were once citizens of the Galactic Commonwealth. You were invaded and enslaved. We received your distress call and we have sealed the entrances and exits of this solar system. Negotiations with the Draconian Alliance have failed. We are on our way.
I'll take a look at that, Kyle. Yeah, we'll do. Alien Mind Primer. What's this one? Do aliens sleep? This honestly, this website is a treasure trove just of like all conspiracies. You just got to work your way through it, guys. And you can. It's in a lot of it's in Spanish, so you can just translate it on the page. You go here and just translate, and it'll translate it off. I think you have to highlight it or something. I don't know. Yeah, translate selection to English. There you go. Galactic Federations and Councils. So these are the councils of the Galactic Federation for people that don't know. The Council of Zindar, Zendar and Saturn. The Council of Thuban. The Nibirian Council and the Galactic Federations of World. The Council of Nine, that's one of the famous ones. The Galactic Federation of Light, formerly just the Galactic Federation. The Ashtar Command, the Allies of Humanity. The Greater Community. Have any of you seen that? Do you remember the American people might not have seen it? The news report in the 1970s that got taken over by an alien voice. Has everybody seen that, or would you like me to play it for you? The Greater Community, the Galactic Federation of Planets, the Council of 12, the Council of 24, the Council of Elam. I'm expecting Rochdale Council to be on here, to be honest with you. The Guardian Alliance, the Council of Andromeda, the Galactic Federation, the Confederation of Planets, the Orion Federation, the Syrian High Command, the Galactic Federation of Planets, Intergalactic Federation of Sovereign Planets, the IFSP. So, is that the magnetic underground transport? No. Oh, the magnetic underground transport. Yeah, that's the train that can go ridiculous speeds. And apparently one's about to be uncovered in London. Stay tuned for that. Could get messy. So if you want to learn about all the... see, this is also mentioned in the Council of 12. Speak of the gods. These are like the list of the names. Anu and his wife Antu. Ninhusag. Ishkur. Enlil. Ninlil, Enki, Ninki, Nana, Ishkur, Utu, Inanna, Marduk, Ninurta, Nurgle. That's like how my 2.5-year-old daughter speaks. Enki, Nini, Nunu, Oku. They're all gods. She's probably summoning them. You know, Enki, Nini, Nunu, Dindins, Ninki. So she talks. Right. In the LPG version, many seats are held by unknown Anunnaki. The number after the name indicates the person's rank, where 60 is the highest, indicating the king. Marduk proclaimed himself to be that title. So Marduk is 60, he's King Dick. And then you've got Zarpanit, 55, Nabu, 50, Unknown, 45, Gibil, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unknowns, Nuskum, 10, and another unknown at 5. Were you laughing at, Julie? Were you coming here laughing, you? Paul Hellyer from Canadian Minister of Defence said the same thing, yeah. ITV News. Yeah, I can play it for you. Don't worry about that. I'll try and get you the original one.
Spacey. It just fits different. Alpha. Stay out there.
We need the chief human resource officer swimming in problems as part of the job. But with SAP, AI agents use all the right data to make sure nothing stops you or your people.
There are conditions.
This
These
is it.
include stopping the execution.
I'll just let it play through to you. Hopefully it has subtitles. Let me have a look. Yeah, it has. It's got subtitles.
Of all captured prisoners of war. Negotiations. Being arrested. In Australia, Mr. Kerry Packer's cricketers are still pleased by yesterday's High Court decision, which lifted the ban on them playing in Test matches.
This is the voice of Allah, representative.
I could do stand-up comedy. I would dedicate it to my dad, who was a roofer. So, Dad, if you're up there.
Speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights and shadows. We speak to you now to say the same as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth. We come to warn you of the destiny of your race and your world so that you may communicate to your fellow beings the course you must take to avoid the disaster which threatens.
How he's getting on with this? Are you hearing it all right? It's going to be tough to hear, but just keep your eye on the thing going across.
Your world and the beings on other worlds around you. This is in order that we may share in great awakening as the planet passes into the new age of Aquarius. The new age can find great peace and liberation for your race, but only your rulers are made aware of the forces that cannot show their judgments. Be still now and listen, for your chance may not come again.
The amount of people in the United States that don't know anything about this story, it's insane.
All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now past, and the race of which you are a part may proceed to the higher stages of its evolution, if you show yourselves worthy to do this. You have but a short time to learn to live together in peace and goodwill. Small groups all over the planet are learning this, and exist to pass on the light of the dawning new age to you all. You are free to accept the protection of those who learn.
Many go as wide as this. Then they run out.
Here now, the voice of Rimon, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. Be aware also that there are many false habits and guides at present operating on your world. They will suck your energy from you, the energy you call money, and will put it to evil ends, giving you worthless costs in return. Let your divine self protect you from this. You must learn to be sensitive to the voice within. Okay.
Yeah, there's multiple ones. Some have subtitles, some don't have any. Beer money. Yeah, 50 super chats or nobody leaves. You all stay forever. Which means I've got to chat forever. That's a shit idea, that.
It's such a I really appreciate that we can. I insist.
If I'm being honest, I think it has been debunked. A guy did do his best to Andrew, thank you so much for the $3.99. That will get my kids a tin of beans, and I'll get a bottle of milk with that, and we will live happily ever after. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you. I don't know how on here, so I can add it, because I'd like to, when someone does that, to add it to the big screen, so you know you get a bit of attention there. But for some reason on this, on the Streamlabs elements, it's not giving me that option, so I have no idea why it's doing. Whoa, $20 US, Kyle Reinhardt. Wow, thank you very much. Kyle has been a big help to me recently. I can't say why, but he's been a big help to me, and I can trust him. I know that. It's been proven. So yeah, thank you, Kyle, for that. I really do appreciate it. Next time I go live, I'll make sure I get the thingy so I can add it to the screen. Oh, do you know what I've not done? 1 minute. I think I might have sorted it. I think it might now go on the screen as I've just added something to the element thing. So maybe next time. But yeah, I do appreciate that. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Kyle, if you're going to be a regular member, by the way, and because I know you're quite knowledgeable, I'll make you a moderator. I do want good people as moderators. No offense, Julie. No offense, Julie. Coming in here and your first comment's a laughing emoji. I expect better from you, Julie.
It's full of only really choice ingredients. I can. Cats have 9 lives.
Have no fear. Keep on learning yourself and discover the ways of your planet. This is the Ashtar Galactic Command Space Attention. Beyond the fleeting days of your existence, may you be blessed by the supreme love of untruthful values.
Use your imagination.
Anytime, Kyle says. Okay. I'll hold you to that, Kyle. I'll be like, right, it's time, Kyle. It's time. It's time. Oh, you mean about the chat? I thought you meant about the money. See this? I do think it's been debunked. I'm not going to say this is legitimate, but it was one of the biggest mysteries, and it has only recently been debunked.
A rogue transmission, which lasted about...
Who remembers this? Do you remember this? Now I know whether this is real or fake. Some of you may not. But I know the answer to this.
Going to be out, but then
do this and let the chips fall where they will.
And like, yeah, but masking it really carefully on air if he was.
South America, north to... We didn't do that, so we'll do 51 in the past. 51 line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I I don't have a whole lot of time.
Do you remember this one?
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are there.
Do you think this is real or fake? I can answer this for you, by the way.
They're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51.
Real? Art Bell is a legend.
The disasters that are coming, the military. I'm sorry.
I'll let you listen to it, and then I'll tell you whether it's real or fake. In fact, I'll show you whether it's real or fake.
Government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharged.
I started getting...
Well, this was certainly interesting. Be from this.
And this is the second phone call. This is the kind of YouTube channel I'd love, an Art Bell type channel. Have people ring in absolutely off their face talking this kind of stuff to me non-stop. I could do it. Do you remember James Stanich? In the UK we had James Stanich, the Manchester guy.
No, not, towards...
So this is either going to say it's real or fake. So for people that haven't heard this before, I'll leave it for you. But you'll be surprised how many people struggle to find this video.
The end of the last hour, you said, east of the Rockies, you're on the air, and your voice was immediately replaced by the operator saying, your party has not connected.
Oh, well, see, as you can now tell, I don't screen calls. So what happened, obviously, was that I answered the phone just at the very instant that you had been ringing, as long as they were going to let you ring.
Yeah.
And so that occurs, obviously, sometimes I go to a line and it's dead and nobody's there, and that's what's happened. You know, we're on the cusp there. Anyway, I'm glad you made it back through.
Yeah, you got all my paranoia buttons running. I always get very nervous when I call you. I'm Brian. I hung up on you last week.
I see.
And I just figured, damn the torpedoes. I'll just do this and let the chips fall where they will.
All right.
Everybody, I am the Area 51 caller. That's my statement, and let you or whatever tear it apart.
You claim you're the Area 51?
I am the man.
How do you account for the fact, Area 51 caller, that part of the way through your spiel, the satellite went down?
I have no idea, and it scared the heebie-jeebies out of me that night. I've called a number of times on your specialty line nights doing different, kind of wacky characters, and that's all that one was supposed to be. And if the call had been completed, it would have been...
Yeah, people really struggle with it. And the amount of people on TikTok that say, oh, the Area 51 call, and then I look at the comments just to see what the person that shared it's talking about, and he goes, yeah, I believe it's real. Yeah, I think 100% it's real. There's never been a debate. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Jesus, man. And some of these are big platforms as well that are sharing this as being legitimate. Now, what I will say is, could he maybe have been threatened and he's come back and said it was all a bullshit? Potentially. But let's just see it for what it is. He's owning up to a prank.
Ancient history by now. Has it occurred to you, as Barbara Marx Hubbard suggested tonight, that perhaps, if you're really what you say you are, you created the reality of the rest of the situation and took down my satellite? That scares the heebie-jeebies out of me, because it means that what I was saying was somehow correct, and it was fabrication, kind of creating a reality. Yeah, if that was the case, I humbly apologize to you, because I love your show, and the last thing I would ever want to do is knock me off the air. So what can I do to prove my claim here? Well, I guess you could give us a little of what you gave us then, so that we could hear it and know it to be you. Are you sure you want me to do that, Art? I'm positive. Art, please. I don't want you to ask me to do this.
That's good, right?
If I start doing that guy,
Right, so that's debunked. So someone's put Jesse Rosenberg. Maybe he was trying. Right, what am I typing in here for this Jesse? Is it an Art Bell? Is it an Art Bell one? Play Jesse. Right, let me have a look then. Jesse. I suppose I've got to do what you asked me to do. You know, I am serving you. Let me know which one it is. Oh, I've seen this one. This lady, the farmer one. This one.
Staffordshire's had a whole crop of flying
I have seen this. This is good. I believe her as well. She's Irish, I think.
saucers. Spots in the sky, lights in the sky, strange things. But the strangest of all was seeing
Oh no,
one
she's from
day over this
Staffordshire.
cottage. Mr. and Mrs. Rustenberg
I do believe this woman though.
were living there quietly out in the country. And, well, you just tell me what you saw.
Well, it was one ordinary day. I was waiting for my husband to come home from work, and my two sons went to Seifert to school, and I was getting changed, and I heard this terrific...
You see, this is... When was this interview? 1954, the interview. This woman would have been probably about 22 years old. That's what they looked like back then.
noise. It was just like a giant cauldron of water being poured onto a fire. A shh sort of noise, you know. And the first reaction was, oh, the children. I thought maybe a plane was crashing or something like that. And I slipped my jumper on and went outside to find my two sons lying flat on the ground in the garden in front of the house, shouting, "Mummy, Mummy, there's a flying saucer." Well, naturally, I just said, "Come on, don't be stupid. Come in the house." But felt sort of a strange sensation. Wended my way up the side of the house to where we had a pump where we used to get all our water from, and automatically looked up to see this, all I can describe, this huge Mexican hat. It was stationary, this thing, and it was bright silver in colour, and it had a dome. A dome. It was tilted to sort of, I could see the occupants in it.
You saw people in it?
I saw people in it. There were two people in there. These people were beautiful people. That's the only way I can describe them. They had long golden hair, like a page boy bob, just like the old kings. You used to see photographs of the old kings. And the colour of the hair was golden. Now, I was really...
What were they dressed in?
They had a sort of a polo neck jumper affair, like a ski top suit. in pale blue. Now, these people weren't sat behind, one behind the other. They were sat together, but this, whatever it was tilted so that I could see them and they could see me.
Were you looking at them through windows, through portholes? Or
no, not portholes. It was just sort of like a cockpit, I suppose, that had this perspex or glass or whatever it was. They could see me anyway, and I could see them. And they had beautiful faces.
I've got to pause it. Let's just, if this is real, what she's saying, and she looks so genuine. You know, she just looks so genuine, and what she's saying at the time, you got to remember, the Nordics and the Pleiadians and stuff like that, they weren't really well talked about back then, and she's describing them. Yeah, it's a fascinating story that they were. You don't know what they were doing. Do you know, when there's no CCTV and we've got less technology, they could have been coming down doing all sorts. They've like, I'm going down there. I've just seen myself a right piece. I'm going to have a bit of that tonight. Do whatever they want.
I shall never forget their faces as long as I live. Their foreheads seem to be a bit larger than, you know, the bottom of their faces as normal
So
people.
she's describing KSI.
You would expect to see. But maybe this was just whatever they had around their heads, which was like a transparent fishbowl. And they just looked. And I was absolutely paralytic with fear. I couldn't move, although my mind was ticking over. And they looked so sympathetic that I was just mesmerized for what seemed to be...
Good question. Why did you think it was going to crash? Good question. Probably because it tilted, maybe, and it was on its... She said it tilted. So I'm guessing if they're in the craft and it's got a wobble. So imagine this UFO here, and there's occupants inside it, and I'm stood here. The craft might tilt slightly, so I can see, and they can see me. Maybe they've got the technology to be able to just not only defy the laws of physics that we have, they can just tilt forward and show themselves like that. Maybe that's why she thought it was crashing.
Oh, ages.
But I was thinking the same thing.
But it could have only been seconds. And I turned to sort of look down at the boys, was unaware that they were with me because I was so absorbed.
Why did you look down at the boys then if you didn't know they were there? I'm finding holes here. Jeez, we're finding holes here, Chief.
And the next thing, I looked up and it was gone.
How low had it been?
It had been the height, I couldn't tell you. But the house that you've seen, it was just on top of the roof.
They call it
It was hovering on top of the...
Bobulating, yeah. Discombobulating. I'm discombobulating. Thing is though, when you get a woman like that and you put a wrap around her head, instantly, she's credible.
The roof.
How big was it compared with the size of the house?
She's going to go inside and make the best cheese and onion pie or stew you have ever seen in your life. That is the type of lady that is.
It swallowed the whole circumference of the roof.
And she'll take you upstairs, make love to you, and tell you afterwards you was rubbish.
I couldn't see. The roof was completely blotted out. The chimneys I couldn't see. All I could see was this massive object that I described as like a Mexican hat without the bubbles.
And then it flew away sideways or upwards?
No, I didn't see. I just looked up and it had gone. But I assume it went straight up, because for a short while after in the sky I looked around and I said to my two boys, "Where can you see anything? Can you see anything?" And they said, "There it is, Mum," and they pointed up, and I watched it. It was just like a little cotton reel in the sky, and it circled us 3 times. It went round 3 times, and then it just shut off, and that was it. When I started to analyse myself afterwards, I feared that I might have had an hallucination, but then I knew I hadn't had, because my sons were so sure about what they'd seen and what I'd seen. And it went through my mind that it was a secret weapon from Russia, and then I thought, well, it can't be that, because if they had something like that, they wouldn't need to fear anybody or anything.
Were you scared by it? Did you run indoors?
Oh, I was petrified. I couldn't move. I couldn't move a muscle. I was paralyzed with fear. But now I wouldn't be.
After she took her hair.
Because now,
crazy.
when I look back, you know, I think, what?
Yeah. When they put a bobble in, we know we're in a good time. Back then, take the teeth out. You go into the stars. You don't need the gateway tapes. You don't need mushrooms. She's going to take you there.
What an amazing thing to have happened, and for me to have seen it.
Calm down now. This is what happens when I've had a bottle.
Where were you?
Well, when my husband came home from the office, I was locked in the house with my children, under a big kitchen table.
Could you imagine that as well? Someone asked me in work today, right? So obviously I go to work and they know I do my YouTube, do my TikToks. And one of the guys went, right, I'm going to ask you this question now, right? And if you can answer me this question, I'll take you seriously. So I was like, right, go on. Why do they probe people up the bottom? And I was like, well, it's they don't really. It's just sort of like a myth that they do that. They put implants in and stuff like that. He was like, all right. But I said, I'll take one for the team. And I'd be like, come on. I'll do it for the team, just for scientific purposes.
Table that we were using.
Under the table?
Under the table, yes. It's funny now when I look back. You know, it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but this is the truth. This happened. And that's it. We were ridiculed. It was very embarrassing at the time, and people, they possibly thought, oh, she's a nutter. But, you know, who cares? This is something that happened to me, and I'm a practically minded person, and that's it.
Interesting. Is there any other ones you want me to look at while we're here? Is there any of these while we're... I'll stay on for another half an hour, say, maybe. Let's have a look. Let me think if I can think of one, actually, that I want you to see. There's many. I've got to pick wisely, though. Which one? Cats. Yeah, don't speak about cats. I lost my cat yesterday. Is this mic working okay, by the way? It seems to be going in the red here. Is the mic okay? Have I got it too loud? Let me know if it's perfect. So, right. So, Skinny Bob. Should we play the Skinny Bob? I've not played the Skinny Bob yet on
Great
YouTube.
businesses aren't built by doing it all. They're built by knowing what not to do. Every morning felt like a fire drill. Missed email.
Do you know what? Don't take anybody's advice. Take my advice. Just be you and go with it. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Clients.
Okay, let's start this. Let's go.
Right. I really struggle to believe this footage, you know. I really struggle to believe this footage. Right, I'm going to let this play a minute. I've seen this a million times anyway, this footage. But I need to go and get myself another drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
So let's start off with
Do not
initial
leave.
observations and movement. What we're trying to do here is decide if this is CGI, or AI as we now refer to pretty much everything, or if this is some kind of model or puppet. Now, looking at the movement of the shoulder and the fabric first, the clothing moves in sync with the shoulder movement. It suggests the clothing may be part of a 3D model, not separated fabric. We can see that movement quite clearly. Now, the blinking, if we're looking at that, it does look authentic and it's a damn good model or puppet. The lighting is good, and we do see that the shadow and depth of movement in what we'd expect from skin and tendons around the eye socket if it were made of what we expect from biological materials, soft skin over fatty tissue, muscle and bone. The timestamp is an overlay. This is far more modern and it is not part of the original footage. This has been added afterwards. Motion vector analysis. Using optical flow, I tracked pixel movement between frames. The result? Well, low uniform motion, head turns, no secondary motion, no clothing sway, no breathing twitch. That's what you expect from CGI or a puppet, not a living creature. Now let's look at blinking average intensity. I tracked the eye region intensity over time. In real footage, blinking causes a sharp drop in brightness, but this video there is almost no change, it just sort of toggles. And on the screen is some of the GPT-4 technical summary points of note when running this through the LLM. In summary, there are some red flags, but also some points of note that suggest it isn't CGI from 2011. Entropy matches camera sensor video, not CGI, and lighting also not easy to match with CGI from back then, so certainly not consistent with CGI. When I've enhanced this, it's easier to see the facial movements and micro movement in the skin.
Right, what's he said in the comments? Has he debunked it? Is he what's he saying? Help me out a second. I've not seen this video yet. I know who he is though, UAP Files Podcast. Yeah, someone I kind of look up to on the topic, I suppose, for YouTube. Just to see how people do things. What I'm trying to do, I'm learning on YouTube, you see. I'm trying to see how other people do it. And still try and be myself and not lose myself and be my own personality. I think it's my personality that draws people to this channel, to be honest with you. It's tight. Let me have a look.
Attached to the blink or the movement of the shoulder, but again, it's not substantial either way. The tests I ran include FFT, spectrum analysis, blink intensity fluctuations, motion vector smoothness, edge frequency content, lighting consistency, and timestamp overlay authenticity. You can pause or screenshot the screen to get an idea of the results, comparing what we expect from real footage, what was observed in this footage, and our likely interpretation of those results, if you're into the detail. I also ran this through one of my favourite pieces of software called Image Detect, which I run everything I get sent through as my initial due diligence when deciding what to share more widely. We really do need to get on top of fake footage or AI created footage and images being shared on social media. It's hard to spot, but software and apps like this can really help. Image Detect says this is likely 1% probability it's AI generated. If you want to do this kind of analysis, these tools are really useful. You could also use Sensity and Attestive, which are also great for the same job. Now then, let's move on to Ivan0135. He created the YouTube account on the 14th of April.
Do you remember this? Ivan0135. In fact, we'll just go to that channel, Ivan0135. We don't need anybody to teach us. You know, we don't teach a granny to suck eggs, do you? This has always been an interesting piece of footage that I found. This one here. This UFO in the sky. This one has always fascinated me, I'll be honest with you. If someone's got any information on this one, please let me know. And this one. I just think it's fake though. Like, 1997 alien interview tape, for me, over this, any day of the week. Do the alien interview from Area 51, leaked interview with the alien. You know about the 1997 one? Are you on about the 1997 one? What do you think of this one?
Teenagers are building businesses with AI, while the only AI you know is ChatGPT. Let's be real.
Oh no, I know that's fake. Ignore that. Secure Team 10 sharing that as fake, as real. Seriously? Secure Team 10? Is he sharing that as real? Because I can prove right now that's fake.
Never seen this before. There's not a lot of...
Right. Sorry, I thought this was something else. Right, this is a dummy, by the way. This is fake. This is a museum model. Right, I'm going to show you something else in a minute. Then. If he shows the rest of the footage, if he shows the rest of the images,
taken in the year 1992 of an alleged
right here. You see this here, and you see these two people. They're not real people. They're wax models. That's a wax model. You can tell. You can tell when they're all around it. They're not moving. Crystal, stone. Sorry, I need to burp them. Yeah, the models. Even the human beings that are in it, the models. I can't believe he's sharing this. Like, these are models. They're not real people. This is why I am better than Secure Team 10. And this is 3 years ago, by the way. He may now know, and he has had some personal issues and stuff like that. I'll let him off. I do like him. I think he does share some good stuff. But third phase of the moon, I absolutely despise. If this was real, the channel would be gone in mins. It's not real, pal. 100%. I've done so many deep dives on. I say to my friends, because I've created so many content creators. Like I've helped Interstellar Discussion, Foil Hat Theories, Shiv, Mark Christopher Lee, the King of UFOs. I give them all advice, and their channels start to boom and stuff like that. They're doing really well for themselves. But Secure Team 10 started around 2008, 2009. I had a channel around 2011, 2012, UFOs around the world. It was on Facebook, and we were sort of in competition. But I wasn't a face to camera. I was just putting information up there. He was a face to camera and sort of did the better editing skills and stuff like that. So it was a better channel than me, but he wasn't a better researcher. But I do respect him for the time that he's put into it over the years. But he makes some absolute balloon-head mistakes sometimes. I don't understand him. I would like to get to know him and actually work with him. He's actually someone I would like to work with, because he could help me with my editing skills, and I could help him how to research better. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. You all follow me on TikTok. I'll do a TikTok video about this. It's literally a 60-second video just to show you where all these are models and dummies and stuff like that. This is a dummy, not real humans, but when you're taking a picture it looks real. All totally fake. They're all like paused into positions and stuff like that.
Okay, pretty mind-blowing stuff. Okay, and then someone is actually videoing it with a camera. So we're basically getting second-hand video shots of a monitor. And so, as mysterious as it is just on its face, and all of the photographs that we're seeing in this video do look to show a discovery of some type of body in the snow and lit. And by the way, EBE stands for extraterrestrial. We'll just go through what we know so far. Snowmobilers. The individuals in the photos were part of a local snowmobile club from Quebec. They happened upon the EBE in the late evening. The conditions, it was very snowy out. They did not touch the EBE due to fear of contamination. The individuals in this video have not been identified. It's said that the men hoisted the EBE with sticks and eventually with a rope or a cable. The entity appeared to have been lying in the snow for...
I'm cringing even more. I'm hoping to God he can save himself. And he says it is dummies.
To hoax this EBE would have been, well, very costly. And so the EBE was said to have been discovered in an area outside of Montreal near the Rouge River, which is a river in western feet. Now, of the EBE look very similar to humans, well, and stiff, and would support, again, the claim that this is legitimate footage. These muscles as well in the upper herring, or if indeed, interesting finding, an explosive smoke.
No, he doesn't know, does he? He doesn't know it's dummies. He doesn't know it's models, for fuck's sake. You can only defend someone for so long. Yeah, that is fake, folks. That they are, they've never been found because they are models, and that's what it is. And people have taken the models and put them in an environment where it's snowy and stuff like that and made it look real. Third phase of the moon is total clickbait. Third phase, yeah. To be honest with you, my channel's turned into a bit of a clickbait, but with a difference. You get what the clickbait says. And I'll give you an example. Where are my videos? We are not alone, Dennis Asberg. You got that information. Alien technology, November arrival. You get that information. Real or fake 1996 alien leaked tape. You get that information, and you get more. My private DMs with the guy. Scientific data released. You get that information. and make it clickbait with the information you get. There's a difference there. There are certain channels that don't do that, and I always try to. I don't want to be, and this, I'm not digging anybody out here. I don't want to turn into a vetted channel. This is going to make people laugh, and you'll know what I mean. Do you all watch Vetted? I do like Patrick, by the way, but I think he gives very little information, and that's because of his research, and he hasn't researched it for many years. So whenever I see Patrick, he does that thing with the microphone. He goes, "Oh, Patrick here today. Oh, have I got somebody else's video to share with you today? Oh yeah." Third phase of the moon's even worse. Third phase of the moon, never in a million years. I can tell you the story with third phase of the moon. Third phase of the moon was to deliberately mock the UFO topic, right? This was what, 2007, 8, 9? 7, 8, 9. Let me Google it. When did third phase of the moon come out? I've got to say, the latest 2011. Third phase of the moon since 2008. Right, so I was right. 2008. So in 2008, they created a channel and they were posting all sorts of clickbait, all sorts of bullshit. Every single day they had the groundbreaking UFO footage. It's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden they had an interview with Stephen Gray, and I think this would have been around 2014, 2015, maybe something like that. Third phase of the moon just changed overnight. They started to think we can monetize this being legitimate, and they've gone more into it, but they still have that little fake stuff every now and again. So yeah, I don't trust them at all. Nothing wrong with people to click if it sounds here. I've just got no interest in third phase of the moon. And people can disagree with me all they want, but what I can say to you is 27 years researching. I was there when third phase of the moon started in 2008, and I had many years of research behind me before they started. I knew instantly these were a bullshit thing taking the piss, and Tyler at Secure Team 10 will tell you the same thing. I really want to get him on. If anybody can reach out to him for me and set me up with an interview with him, I'd love to have an interview with him as two creators from that era that were struggling like to get heard, and now it seems like we want to get heard, but too many people have taken the pie now. The people that have come out of nowhere, like Jeremy Corbell, where was he? Where was he like 10 years ago? He was creating art and stuff like that. And now they're taking the limelight and getting all these whistleblowers coming forward to them. I'll tell you now, if whistleblowers want to come forward, they want to come forward to people like me, because there are people in this chat that have come forward to me, and they know that I'll release it and I'll keep them anonymous and stuff like that. They're not in the chat anymore, by the way, but they might be. And you can trust me. I've got your back as long as you've got my back. And I'll never try and... I'll always open my hands up if I make a mistake with a video and say, oh shit, I made a mistake. It's not this, it's not this. It's that. Right. Next video, people.
Smoking gun.
Not that one, anyway. This one. You get to know you can trust in your field. Yeah, I speak to George Knapp. I speak to James Fox. Briefly. George Knapp follows me on Instagram. Nick Pope follows me on Facebook. James Fox I speak to on X. And I've spoken to him on Instagram. He's cool. He's wanting to do an interview, by the way, with me. He's just setting it up. Simon Holland.
Ruin your life.
Again, cool guy. We'll speak to him in 2 days' time. Right, come on. Got another half an hour or something if you want to look at some videos. So go through some of the videos. Love this video. Which video? This one I've just played. This one. This one most certainly has more of an eerie feeling to it. And I will get to the 1997 Jeff. Are you still in the chat, Jeffrey Noonan? Yeah, that one. That one is something that interests me. That video is totally different. That one. Yeah, it's got more of an eerie thing to that. Yes. Is Jeff Noonan wanted 1997 alien interview tape. There's a new video that just came out of a guy standing next to one on his deck. I think I know which one you're on about, but it's not new. It's been out about a year, that video. You're on about this one, aren't you? This is supposed to be real alien Area 51 footage, by the way. The Roswell footage, check this one out. That is interesting footage, that. That dropped on 19 years ago. 19-year-old, that footage. What do you think of this one, Jeff? "19 years ago. I feel really old now." Fucking hell. And just for people that don't know my age, I'm 40 in March. So, you know, I'm not as young as I look. And I know you all think I look about 22, and I appreciate that. I really do. Right, Alien interview, 1997. But hands and feet are too human looking. Julie, you need to stop interrupting the chat with this ridiculous comment. I'm joking. You're right. If your feet look like that, get out my bed. They're huge feet. And I think they've got an extra toe as well. I haven't seen this one. Yeah, me too. Well, let me just get you the finger then so you can find it for future reference. I am winding you up, Julie, by the way. Don't hate me or block me. So if you go on Specky, he's got 919 subscribers. And it's called the Roswell 1947 Alien Footage, 19 years ago. Footage supposedly taken after the Roswell crash of 1947. One of the aliens can be seen on a stretcher. You know, the funny thing is, I bet he don't even post anything anymore on this channel. Let me have a look. Yeah, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years ago. It's like it's not even a UFO channel, and he's probably put up some, probably potentially one of the most compelling pieces of footage on Roswell. Look, there's literally nothing on aliens and stuff. Those are the kind of people that you need to watch.
My name's Lawrence. I created this.
Visitors 51 is enough to in real time.
I can give you some information on this. I spoke to John. If you've not seen my interview with Jon Stewart, you need to watch the interview with Jon Stewart on my channel, YouTube channel. It's about 2 hours long, fascinating interview, and it is the one that is. Let's have a look. It was one of my first earlier ones. It needs more views, really. That one. Jon Stewart full interview there. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes long. It's not just me. There's a few of the TikTok community that we did the interview with. But it's vibrant. Let me just play a second of it here so you know what it's like.
Freaking break. The only people that would have known that.
You need to check that interview out, guys.
Which is why it's authentic, or it was filmed.
So let's put it on thingy there. J-Rod. Is the mic being good tonight, folks? Is the mic being nice and clear for you all, yeah? Never seen. Interesting. You've never seen this footage, Jeff? I'm telling you now, this footage for me is the most compelling piece of footage. Not just because of this tape, but if you do the research into it. This was spoken about 10 years before on George Knapp and John Lear's. It was called On the Record, which I played videos about, where John Lear says there's a tape coming out. Bill Moore was in possession of these tapes in 1987 and was going to release them. He was getting led along. He did a 1989 MUFON press conference, came out, said that he was working as a disinformation thingy, and then realised it was being used and exposed it. He got booed off the stage. That was one of the last maybe appearances of him. That is why I think Bill Moore is Victor. So, Mike is behaving tonight, yeah. And just for people before I carry on playing the tape, so I'm going to show you now Victor from the alien interview tape, right? Victor, alien interview. Images. So that's Victor, yeah? I'm going to play Bill Moore UFO. And I'm going to go for Bill Moore here. That, in my opinion, this is through my research, is a very, very strong candidate for being Victor. These were 90s pictures. This was 1989, I think it was. He had possession of these tapes. The evidence is there. The evidence is there in the letter. Let me just find it 1 second. John Lear, letter to Stephen, 1987. Here. Right, this letter. So I'm going to read this out to you, right? For a quick, and then I'll play the tape. Just bear with me, folks. Right, so it's not that. So Moore states emphatically that he's not a government agent, although when Les Graham was investigated by DIS for documents in his possession received from Moore himself was not. Moore states emphatically that the cattle mutilations were a hoax by Linda Howe to create publicity for herself. He cites the unnotably book Mute Evidence as the bottom line of the hoax. I believe him because it was Richard Doty, and we've interviewed Richard Doty as well. That's over 3 hours, and that's on my YouTube channel as well. He gave a lot of information to Linda Howe, so I think that Linda Howe was feeding bullshit. So where is it where it talks about the tape? Let me have a look. If, however, Moore does not release the tape by, say, February the 1st, but comes instead with a story similar to MJ12, has informed me they are definitely planning a total release of all the information by October 1988. So this alien interview tape, I believe, is what Bill Moore had possession of. Because it speaks about it just... Alright, here it is. Another videotape alleged to be in existence is an interview with an EBE. Since EBEs communicate telepathically, an Air Force colonel serves as an interpreter. Just before the recent stock market crash, several newsmen, including Bill Moore, had been invited to Los Alamos to personally film and distribute to the public a similar type interview. This is why it could be fake, because it could be a military staged fake, which means there's money spent on it to push a narrative out there, the alien agenda. So if it's fake, and I said this to Jon Stewart in the interview, it has to be a military fake. It can't be just some random person that's got some skills. Moore is also in possession of more Aquarius documents. Now, bear in mind, Moore did come clean on this in 1989. And this letter was dated December the 13th, 1987. And if you want this document, I can drop it in the description for you. Back to the tape. Great catch. Is that on about the letter? Yeah, honestly, I'm balls deep on this tape. I think this is there's two things that it's 100% it has to be. It's either one, real, or two, it's a military staged fake deliberately put out there. And this green thing here is a communication device which Jon Stewart speaks about in the interview. What year was that? This was 1997 the tape was released. But the tape's from the 1980s. Some people say it's even earlier than the 1980s. Some people say it's from the 50s, but I don't think it's from the 50s. You see its body in a minute as well. I'll try and pause it when you see it, get a good screen of its body. Let me see if I can. So you can see its shoulder here. Just trying to pause it there. Let's face it, if that's someone inside that, they are very skinny, they have a scrawny ass neck. It can't be someone inside a costume. When you see the torchlight and how scrawny the neck is, because the neck sits back. It's not like how my neck is. The neck's more towards the back, so they have that jerky motion when they're choking and stuff like that, because their neck is more pushed to the back of the spine. Whereas mine's more centre, so my head's more stable. His head is not stable.
You removed the soundtrack from the tape before you turned it over to this program.
That's correct. I can't allow the voices of the project personnel to be heard by the general public. There's a very good chance their family or friends on the outside might recognize them.
Isn't your purpose in releasing this tape to expose Area 51 to the world?
My purpose is to expose the existence of the aliens, not compromise these individuals. Stepping in on the right. The medical staff should be there by now. They're slow in responding. There they are. I have to say the medical personnel at S4 are less than first rate. They tend to be selected for their willingness to keep secrets rather than their medical competence.
It just seems like it's reacting as well, as they're moving it. It's like it's reacting
that light
to it.
Into the eyes. It looks that way, but in fact he's checking for hemorrhaging around the eye sockets.
Now there is arguments that his arm looked a bit deflated, but I think that's shadows, to be honest with you.
And in the nasal cavity.
I've looked into that. I just think it's the way the light and the shadow. It's not. My argument is if the arm's deflated and then in the next image it's not deflated, it tells you that it can't have been deflated because they've not just pumped it up, have they, in the process of just shining a torch in him. So that doesn't hold up for me, the arm being deflated argument, because in the next image it shows it not being deflated.
I'm sorry.
So I think it's a shadow.
It's very hard for me to watch this.
And I'm not being funny, they'd just record it again, wouldn't they? If it was a fake, you'd just record it again if there was been a deflation issue.
You're asking me if I think this is real? That have I finally seen a space...
To create the aliens for
Let's
the
see what this guy
recreation
says.
segments of this program, Criswell was very interested to finally see
I've already done a live on this, and I'm doing it again, but you know what? People ask, they get what they want.
the real thing.
By Hollywood standards, I would say it's a pretty decent puppet. Well, to be honest with you, I would love to buy this being real, but it's probably a hoax.
He sort of changed his mind, though.
I think
Pay
it's a really
attention.
cool design, and it's a great concept, but I think I could have done better. Whoever did this, I mean, they could have a job in Hollywood in a minute, no problem. This one has a much creepier quality than the alien autopsy tape, I think. That one I definitely didn't buy just because of the way it laid on the table. There was a couple of things. This actually, whoever did this was, or if someone did this, they were very clever because it hides a lot of stuff. So that's what makes me kind of disbelieve it a little bit. But, who knows?
Criswell thought the alien exhibited movements that would be difficult to fake.
There are moments when this looks very real, and I don't know how they did certain little things about this. So right when I would say that it's definitely a puppet, he moves a certain way, or he'll lift up in the frame and all that, and all these little things are important to the to the character of it.
Academy Award winner Rick Baker is one of Hollywood's reigning masters of makeup effects.
This guy just does me head in. He's like, I can do better. I can do better. I have done better.
He
Selling
transformed
himself like
Eddie
a little
Murphy
whore.
into a 300-pound man for The Nutty Professor, and has created monsters for countless films, including an American Werewolf.
Have you just said that you're not sure about this one, but you think the Skinny Bob one's real? Have you seen the Skinny Bob one? It looks so CGI. This one has a background story to it. That is where you need to be looking. You don't just look at the video, go and research the background story of it. The 10 years before, people were talking about this tape. Credible people. Letters were wrote mentioning this tape.
Werewolf in London, and the UFO-related Men in Black. Baker dismissed the tape as a fake.
Yeah, this doesn't fool me.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Yeah, that is exactly what this guy says. It winds me up.
I don't buy this. I think this is a puppet, and you've got a table.
He thinks it's a puppet, right? It could be a puppet, right? But let's just take it for what it is. If this is just an alien that's got light-sensitive eyes, so it has to be in a dark room, and it has to be interviewed in a dark room, why would they make it better? 100% you could get a visual effects artist to go and make a much better alien interview tape. 100% you can do that. 100%. But they don't need to, because it's not fake. If it is a fake, it's a military fake, and it's on the basis of how it would potentially have been done. It's not faked by anybody else. It has to be a military one if it's going to be faked.
In the foreground, it's hiding the rest of its body. You've got some kind of whatever that instrument is in the foreground. It's hiding. It's also lit very mysteriously. I think.
And why do I say military fake? People are probably asking, because the documents were leaked out to Bill Moore. So Bill Moore was given these tapes by, it was in the military and stuff, and these MJ-12. So if they was giving him this tape, it would suggest that they're either wanting the release of this tape, and they're saying they're going to actually release it because they know they've made a mistake with the treaty, the Greeter Treaty, and the abductions of people, and the lists weren't going to MJ-12, and they knew they had to release something. This is all spoke about by Bill Moore, and they thought they had to release something to show the public. And it's come out in 1997 in the worst time possible, when the internet is just starting out, computers are just getting big, and it's not been taken seriously. And now we're just all pondering, going, is this real or fake? And I just think it's real. I think the evidence is there for it to be real.
You're going to record this alien, you would want to see it, and you wouldn't want to hide it behind a table, and you would light it in a way that would show up much more than this.
I've done more research than most, Peace.
This particular.
I'll have you a quid bet that I've done more on this individual tape alone. More research on it. And I can back that.
Movement here especially looks very puppety to me.
It is a real video. Investigated, researched about it.
Very much like a guy with his hand inside this thing.
Interesting. It automatically gives you that feeling that it's a living being to me anyway.
Ill here? Is that what's going on? It just looks like they went to a great deal of effort.
I love it though. I love it that people think it's real, people think it's fake, people undecided. It's one of those mysteries, right?
This puppet, and I just don't buy it. I would be willing to stake my reputation on the fact that I think this is a hoax. It's very interesting to see them.
Right,
In
so
Baker's opinion,
on that bombshell, I'm going to have to end the live because it's nearly 2 hours. I was only supposed to be on for an hour. And I've got work in the morning and I need to go. So thank you for participating. Thank you for joining. I've got a live tomorrow, so I won't be live tomorrow. I'll be doing an interview tomorrow. I won't be live on Thursday. I've got an interview with Simon Holland on Thursday. Potentially that might be a live interview. So pay attention to that and click the notification bell. For anybody that's followed, thank you. And if you've not watched my Jon Stewart interview or my Richard Doty interview or the Jason Sands interview, please head on over to my live interview section and check them out. They're all up there already. And they're multi-hosted, so there's a few people on there, other content creators that we've done the lives with. So, I'm going to go, people. Thank you, good night, and as always... I missed it. You have missed it. It's your own fault. You can re-watch it, though, the good thing, it's going up right now. So I'm going to go. Good night, God bless, see you on the next